Hello, and welcome to Rethinking Our History, where we seek to shed a light on events that have been forgotten and covered up, and to make us all question how much do we really know about our history? I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ian, and we are here to reveal all the sordid details of history that have been swept under the rug. Get ready to get angry, be curious, and maybe have a laugh or two as we rethink our history.
Hello, friends.
Hey guys.
Welcome back to another lesson, number 37.
Wee!
Not old, I'm only 37. We are back this week with part 2 of our story about the LA riots of 1992.
Ugh.
But first, let's get the business out of the way. If you found us here first and are a fan of the paranormal, give our show The Paranormal Lovers a listen. Over 100 episodes about ghosts, random cryptids, and even a little bit of true crime. To support these shows for free, just give us a 5-star rating and review wherever you can. It also helps when people like comment,
Shaman comment.
like, share, and comment on our social media posts. So please interact with us there as well.
Leave a shaman comment.
Leave a comment. To support the making of these shows, we have a couple of ways to do so. First, we have our merch store at theparanormallovers.threadless.com. You can get damn near anything there. Clothes, wall art, home accessories, phone cases, cups, and even skateboards. And I'm going to go check real quick. We have a sale. Yep, that is today, Monday, August 4th. We're recording on the 3rd, 4th tomorrow. We will have our back to school sale, $13 t-shirt, $15 v-necks, tank tops, $5 mini prints, and everything else is on sale. And that sale will be from August 4th until August 13th. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/the paranormal lovers with one tier at $5 a month. We have a new show for you guys. It's going to be called Why Do Men? Because I find myself looking at my husband a lot and going, why are men like this? Why do men hate us? Why? So we're going to do that in a show, and maybe we can get some of his friends to come on, some of my friend guys to come on. If you're a guy and want to come on, let us know. It's going to be fun. You will also get stickers and other swag from time to time. I just sent out a shirt and some stickers to Chrissy. Pew, 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 pew. Hopefully she got it. She should have got it Friday.
Nice.
Also, please leave a comment on Spotify or the social medias of what you would like to see us do on Patreon. We're still brainstorming more ideas. We want to bring you guys more content over there so you have a reason to spend $5 a month to see us, even if you don't get t-shirts and stickers very often. What do you think? Interviews with friends, reacting to news headlines, reading reviews or obituaries? Let us know below what you would get. What would get you to spend that $5 a month?
Woods hikes.
Wood hikes?
Yeah.
Just us hiking through the woods? I don't know, man. You're going to have to do something better for our neurodivergent folks. Hang on. Just a second. Is there a pause button?
I do not know.
Nope, there isn't. Oh, well. You have to deal with Cass wanting to go out.
Hold on, I'll get him.
Okay.
I'll get him.
Gotta let out the big baby boy. He wants to go outside. I guess get attacked by little Nikki, the vacuum cleaner.
Oh, you got your claw stuck?
Oh, no.
You gotta go up.
Yeah. Telling you guys he's like having a child. And there he goes. To get terrorized by little Nikki, the dirt devil robot vacuum that we have.
He's gonna
Millennials?
Go it.
Any other millennials out there get the little Nikki dirt devil reference? No? Okay. It's fine. Social medias. You can find us the most on Facebook and Instagram. We do have a TikTok. We don't really use it that much. Just search for the Paranormal Lovers in the search bar to find us and give us a follow. Also, if you or someone you know prefers video, we have a YouTube channel. I have a very expressive face, or so I've heard. So if you'd like to see my facial expressions, my facial subtitles, as I like to call them. And finally, if you have a personal story, be it true crime, paranormal, or historical, or if you'd like to be a guest on the show, or if you just want to chat, email us at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com. All right. What do you think you hear?
No, I was just my computer's being stupid. It
Oh,
wants me to like keep setting it up, and I don't want to right now,
no, right.
but I
All
can't
right.
skip it now.
So we're back in Los Angeles, day 2 of the riots that burned through the city after centuries of abuse and exploitation. Since around 3:30 p.m. on April 29th, people have been migrating through the city, attacking people, destroying property, and ransacking businesses. At 12:15 a.m. on April 30th, Mayor Bradley issued a dusk to dawn curfew for the core area affected by the riots, but expanded the curfew area as the riots themselves expanded. They started in South Central LA, moved through Central LA all the way to Hollywood. From there, the riots expanded in all directions throughout the city. In the 1960s, after the passing of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, many Koreans settled in the Middle Wilshire area and opened businesses. As the riots spread, law enforcement blocked roads leading into the wealthy white parts of the city, such as Beverly Hills and West Hollywood, essentially trapping the Korean community between a wall and the growing crowds. So that's fun.
Right,
I either had, and honestly, I don't listen. I have no fucking idea how LA's set up. It's so massive that my brain can't. Like, I'm from Raleigh, y'all. It ain't that big of a city, and even that's a big city.
right,
You know what I mean? But from the way I understand it, like you got the riots over here, the Korean communities here, they need to drive through the rich white community to get out. But they've got the rich white community blocked off, barricaded, because got to protect those homes.
right.
Like, I- I'm sorry. hmm. Okay. Sadly, the Koreans held no hope that law enforcement would come to their aid, so they took to arming themselves to try and protect their community. And usually I would say people over property, but imagine you left your whole life behind and all you have is a home in this business.
Right.
With media fanning the flames, it's really no wonder they felt they had no other options. Man-
Sure.
Many of the male residents had served in the Republic of Korea Armed Forces and had battle experience. They were armed with M1 carbines,
M1 Grands.
M1 carbines, Ruger Mini 14 shotguns, or Ruger Mini 14s, shotguns, and handguns.
I fired at M1 one time.
Yeah?
Yeah, my friend, one of my friends, the friend. Uh,
Oh, that was one friend we don't really talk to that much anymore
yeah,
because he's
he
kind of weird and he's an alcoholic.
he had one, and we went up to his grandpa's to shoot it, and because we're like, I'm kind of into guns, but
It's kind of a thing around here.
yeah, but I remember shooting this gun, and the ammunition used is pretty big, and when you fire it, so we were shooting at a block of wood, right?
Mm,
A wood pile, actually, a pile of wood.
yeah.
It would go through like two or three, even four big
Logs?
chunks of wood.
Jeez.
And I remember thinking, damn, like that
Hmm.
went through the wood pile and hit the bank behind it.
Imagine how easily it would rip through flesh and
It's like,
bone.
God.
Reminds me of when we went the one time I've been to the gun range and that dude brought his 50 cal. His 50 cal.
Yeah.
Y'all, if y'all don't know, when you go to the gun range, you got to wear these like super heavy duty earmuffs
Yeah.
because, fun fact, guns are loud.
Very.
Um, 50 cals sound like a fucking bomb being dropped.
Yeah.
Like, boom, boom. And you're just fucking shit. Because it's like
Yeah.
20 feet over here getting shot off behind you. Whew, that bitch was loud. I would
Yeah, it was.
like to try his AK, AR, whatever he's got.
Mhm.
I don't know what he's got. I'd like to try it though.
Yeah,
All right, they had
it's fun.
several shootouts with armed rioters, making some of them back off from their businesses. Oh, excuse me, folks. But they had casualties as well, such as 18-year-old Edward Song Lee, who was seen on news footage lying dead in the street. After the Korean community took safety into their own hands and people died, it was then that the 670th Military Police Company was redeployed to guard the Korean Cultural Center and the Consulate General of South Korea. Out of almost $1 billion in damage done during these riots, 450 million of it was done to Korean-owned businesses.
Mm,
It would take till it would take until midday for LAPD and the sheriff's departments to organize a response. Fire departments were able to respond to calls backed by law enforcement. Reinforcements from the highway patrol were airlifted in. So you remember how last time it was like, oh, they were like, nothing really is going to happen. So like all the captains decided to go to a training seminar.
right.
The California National Guard had been told to not expect civil unrest after the verdict and had loaned out their riot gear to other departments.
Alright then.
Although they were able to activate 2,000 troops, it would take 24 hours to get them to the city, plus the time it took for them to get to Los Alamitos to get the gear that was kept there. And at the time, Los Alamitos was like a defunct training facility, I think.
Mhm.
And they just like had stuff there in storage.
Hmm.
Day 3, May 1st. At this point, most of the rioting had stopped. At a press conference in front of his attorney's office, Rodney tearfully asked the public, quote, "People, I just want to say, can't we all just get along?" End quote. And I had no fucking idea that's where that quote came from.
Right.
Can't we all just get along? Do you remember that being like a big quote back in the day? I
Yeah.
remember people quoting that shit, and I had no idea it came from Rodney King. At 1 a.m., Governor Wilson asked for federal help. President Bush,
Which one?
it was 92, so
The
figure that one
dad?
out.
George
Yeah,
W. or George W. Jr.?
George H. George H. and then George W. It was George H.
Gotcha.
Pretty sure it was dad
So dad. Yeah.
because this was 92.
Daddy
I was
Bush.
6. I remember Clinton being in office and then Bush got in after Clinton, right?
I think so, yeah.
So, yeah, this was Daddy Bush. President Bush invoked the Insurrection Act with Executive Order 12804. It's weird that something similar has happened recently, except for this time there was no call for assistance from Governor Newsom.
Right.
But, um,
It's because they were all peaceful.
by the time the federal troops were being mobilized, the rioting had begun to die down. But that did not stop the California National Guard from sending in 10,000 troops to the city. 1,000 federal tactical officers were also deployed to the city to protect federal facilities. President Bush addressed the country, threatening to quote unquote use any force necessary to restore order.
Alright
We
then.
will not deal with rioters and looters. We will use any force necessary. Shut the fuck up. He also said he had ordered the Justice Department to investigate the Rodney King beating and that a grand jury was being convened that day. Yay. On the same day, the post office ordered residents to come to their main office to get their mail. They said, "Y'all acting foolish. We are not sending our fucking drivers out there with all kinds of shit and packages and checks and all kinds. Nope. You come here and get it." They said the line at this office stretched 40 blocks.
Wow.
40 blocks.
That's crazy.
And this ain't like a Waynesville block. This is a Los Angeles block.
Yeah.
And law enforcement was sent in to quote unquote keep the peace. I didn't hear anything bad coming from that, but while things on the ground were being reported 24/7, behind the scenes, the economy was taking a hit as well. From baseball to basketball, games were canceled, rescheduled, and moved to other cities. Horse racing tracks were closed, and several concerts were canceled, including Van Halen, Metallica, and Michael Bolton.
Can't see Michael Bolton today. Damn.
The WWF, now known as the WWE, also canceled 2 shows that were to take place that weekend. They were like, "We fake fight. We don't want a real fight with people."
They smelled what The Rock was cooking.
Y'all, our daughter is so obsessed with The Rock, and it's not even that, like, she has a crush on him. She's just like, "Is that The Rock?" She's just, like, obsessed with him. She's like her friend has a her like, she has a bunch of little boyfriends, not, like, boyfriends. They're, like, her friends who are boys,
Yeah.
and, like, most of them are obsessed with The Rock, so, of course, she's obsessed with The Rock, and honestly, he's really fucking funny.
Yeah.
'Kay? He's funny.
Him and Kevin Hart, man.
Oh my god. Those 2. You know what? We need a Jason Momoa, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, The Rock movie. Give me that.
Right.
And I need to see, like, Jason Momoa carrying Kevin Hart around a little bit because and, like, The Rock being jealous and being like, "Hey, that's my little man." Like, taking him away from him. Anyways, y'all have a very vivid imagination. By Saturday, day 4, over 13,000 troops had been deployed to LA. This was the largest military occupation of a United States city since the riots in DC in 1968 after Martin Luther King Jr. was murdered.
Wow.
With the violence dying down, over 30,000 people participated in a peace march in Koreatown. This was to show support for local merchants as well as a chance for the two communities to begin to heal. Day 5, Saturday, March 3rd, or Sunday, March 3rd. This day saw the violence coming to an end. There were a few incidents throughout the day. In one incident, a driver attempted to run over soldiers at a barricade, but was shot dead for his efforts. Can't really blame him for that. In another incident, oh, this one was so bad. This one, this one could have been horrific. They're so fucking lucky nobody got hurt. LAPD was responding to a domestic violence call in Compton backed by the Marines. The suspect was holding his wife and children hostage in their home, and when officers approached the residence, he opened fire through the door with a shotgun, injuring officers. Now, this is when a serious miscommunication took place. An LAPD officer called to the Marines to cover me.
Mm.
Now, I know that television is fake, but I've watched enough TV drama to know the difference between what the officer was asking and what the Marines were asked. Because
Right.
this is law enforcement and military.
Right.
Cover me literally means two fucking different things.
Yeah.
In law enforcement, when they yell cover me, that means to return fire on the suspect if needed as the officer changes their position. In the military, when someone says cover me, that means to open fire at the enemy while the soldier moves,
Yeah.
to lay cover fire.
Yeah.
So the Marines fired off over 200 rounds into this house,
Jesus.
and not a single fucking person got hit.
That's amazing.
I'm like, oh my God. Imagine that cop was just like, "Uh, that's not what I meant."
Whoops.
That's not what I
Fucking
meant.
whoops.
Fucking whoops. Fucking oopsie. Even after the curfew was lifted, sporadic violence still popped up for days and weeks after the initial riots.
Also, on the dude that drove through or tried to drive through military. You hear that, guys? That's what happens when you try to drive through a crowd of people, military or
Or civilian,
civilians.
you might get shot.
You might get shot because you're trying to kill people at that point.
Hey, fun fact,
So,
lawmakers in North Carolina are about to
just
pass a bill
think about that.
that removes the need for a concealed carry permit.
Yeah,
So that means everyone will be able to carry
pretty
concealed
much.
carry.
which I
in the
wasn't at
state
a
of North
protest,
Carolina.
but that's just
I
me.
mean, I mean,
Doesn't mean other people wouldn't.
I would like
So,
that concealed carry purse that we had at the store for a while. I'd use that bitch in concealed carry.
right.
Uh, um, Federal troops were left in the city until May 9th. On the 14th, most of the National Guard troops were removed, although some were left there until May 27th. According to Wikipedia, Koreans in LA call these events Saigu or 429 for the date it all started. Over 2,300 Korean owned shops were damaged, costing around $400 million.
Oof.
Again, this was due to the minimal assistance they received during the riots and the fact that they just like blocked off the white people's areas and just let them run riot. Literally,
Right.
run riot all over the fucking city. One merchant, David Jude, claims at one point they were fired at while 4 LAPD officers were in the area, but they ran away when the shooting started.
Wow.
David also states that they tried to call the cops numerous times but never got a response. So, like, what the fuck else are they supposed to do?
I would hate to have to be an LAPD. That's like the craziest job.
That is the most fucking crooked department
Yeah,
in the country.
that too. I mean, like,
It always has
you got seen Training Day, right?
been.
It's like that. Like, it's Training Day.
If you ever go listen to Morbid, like at the beginning of their episodes, the beginning of their show, I guess Elena had dated an LAPD officer at one time, and my God, they used to talk shit about him and that whole fucking department.
Yeah,
He was just a fucking asshole. Oh, well, they didn't do their jobs. Surprise, surprise, LAPD. God damn. Yeah, no, I'm good. I wouldn't join that police force.
no.
Like, I've thought about being a cop before to try and, like, work on the system from the inside,
So, like,
but I just
LAPD's weird because, like, you have different divisions of them too. You have, like, the Hollywood division, the
you got
regular people
Long
division,
Beach,
you
you
have
got
fucking
yeah, because we watch SWAT, and in SWAT, you got, like, all these different cop
yep. You have,
places,
like,
like
subdivisions of the LAPD.
yeah. I mean, think of it like here, like, LAPD would be like Haywood County. You got, like, the LAPD, but then you got, like, Waynesville cops, Canton cops, this cop. So, like, every
Yeah,
suburb has their own police department as well.
right.
Yeah, a lot of cops.
A lot of cops.
After the riots, the Korean community saw they needed to make sure they were seen and their voices heard, so they created organizations and became more involved in politics. However, just 1 year later, less than one quarter of the damaged businesses reopened, and around 40% of the Korean community was considering leaving the city. When the 93 federal rights civil rights case for Rodney was close to a verdict, once again the Korean community began to arm themselves and prepare for another round of violence. Excuse me. Gun sales spiked, stores were fortified with plexiglass and bars, and the community began to organize armed militia groups to protect them. It is said that only 730 Koreans sought out PTSD or treatment for PTSD. Out of 2,300 businesses, if we say there are two parents and one kid per business, that's still over 6,000 people that struggled with untreated PTSD.
Wow,
But consider that many of these families were multi-generational of grandparents, parents, kids, grandkids, etc. That's tens of thousands of people that could have went with untreated PTSD after these events.
sure.
And that makes me real sad
Yeah.
because I have complex PTSD and thinking of just like, eh, just like, yeah, well, I'll just get through it. Especially something like that. No, I'm good.
Right.
One of the communities that was underreported on was that of the Spanish speaking communities. And I say Spanish speaking because some people don't like being called Hispanic, some people don't like being called Latinx, and there are many countries where Spanish is the main language that are not Mexico.
Many.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Spanish speaking community until they can choose one they all fucking agree on. I ain't trying to razz y'all. I'm just saying, just like Pick a term. Y'all pick a term, please. I would love for y'all to pick a term that I can use that's like universal. Okay.
Call them natives.
I mean, they are. I did see somewhere people were calling them like indigenous Native South Americans or
Yep.
Native Latin Americans.
Yep.
But again, there's a lot. They come from everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they could come from Latin and South America. So it's just like
Yep.
nearly one third of those killed and one half of those arrested were from the Spanish speaking community. Between 20 and 40% of businesses were owned by the Spanish speaking community that were damaged. And while violence is still an issue between the communities, some people believe that these riots help bring them closer, or at the very least, help the Black community and the Spanish speaking communities understand each other better. It's one of those things that showed them it's not me versus you, but rather us versus them. While footage of the riots was nonstop and sparked smaller protests across the country, the media framed them as race riots between the white and black communities, leaving out what the Korean and Spanish speaking communities had been going through as well. The root cause of all this and similar protest is and has always will been white supremacy. And the media owned by these supremacists skewed the footage to persuade the public opinion. This is not some giant conspiracy theory, folks. This is a well known fact.
Yeah.
While Chief Gates already had a successor waiting for him to step down, on June 29th or June 28th, 1992, he was forced to retire. At the same time, infamous gangs such as the Crips and Bloods and Spanish speaking gangs such as MS-13 made temporary churches to help their communities rebuild. Because that's what they fucking do. You know, when the fucking Crips and Bloods come together
Yeah.
and call a truce, some shit done got real.
Yep.
And I'm like, this ain't like the little gangs that we got in like these smaller cities around here, which those can be violent too. This is the Crips and Blood, which has a long, long line history. Long history. It's been around for a long time. They're not to be fucked with.
Well, their power was at the top in the 90s too.
Oh man, they were so powerful. The city was ready for violence when the verdict for the federal civil rights case was read out. Powell and Kuhn were found guilty, while Bracino and Wynn were acquitted. Rodney won a settlement of $3.8 million from the city of Los Angeles.
Nice.
He attempted to start a record label, but that didn't work out. Rodney would end up getting arrested at least 11 more times for various charges, though I wonder how many were valid and how many were a show of force.
Right.
Because, like, he
He was on their list.
his beating is the straw that broke the camel's back and what started all of this, kind of. And they don't like that. They don't, cops don't like being called out.
Yeah.
They don't like it.
Most of them. Isn't that the reason why they started wearing body cams too? Like they invented body cams just so that kind of thing didn't happen anymore.
Yeah, I don't know when body cams exactly were, um, like, created and made, like, a thing for the police department, but yeah, it was something like a Rodney King incident that was like, "You need to wear your fucking body cam," but then they're like, "Oh, you can just turn it off, it's fine."
Right.
He and his family would move to another country for a while to get away from the notoriety. County. He moved to San Francisco, not Tokyo, goddamn. For a while to get away from the notoriety and get a fresh start. Rodney rarely ever spoke about that night, preferring to just move on and live his life. He and his family would return to LA and they ran a family construction company until on June 17th, 2012, Rodney died from accidental drowning.
Mm,
The official report is that he had drugs and alcohol in his system, but
right.
call me a conspiracy theorist on that one because I don't
Yeah.
know. Due to the number of arrests, I'm sorry, this one makes me chuckle a little bit. You ever like, no, you don't, because you typically do your notes like right before we record. I've had these notes typed up for days, and I've been writing up notes for the next episode, and so I kind of forgot what was in these notes, but now I'm reading this, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, this is kinda funny." Due to the number of arrests during the riots on May 3rd, 1992, the California Supreme Court extended the deadline to charge defendants from 48 hours to 96. In just one day, 6,345 people had been arrested, and
Jesus.
over one of them third of them had to be released because they could not be identified.
All right.
That's what made me chuckle. In one instance, quote, officers arrested around 40 people stealing from one store. While they were identifying them, a group of another 12 leaders were brought in. With the groups mingled, charges could not be brought against individuals for stealing from specific stores, and the police had to release them all. End quote. Fucking dumbass.
That's funny.
Keep your parts separated. How fucking hard is it? Probably pretty fucking hard when you're arresting like 7,000 people in one day.
Yeah.
It makes me think of like, oh god, like Gotham when they go into like the police station and there's like all these people like they're pulling around and shit and they're like yelling and fighting with cops. It's what I imagined it looked like.
Right.
In the weeks that followed, another 11,000 people were arrested.
Jesus.
Many were turned in by their neighbors who were angry they had participated in the destruction of their neighborhoods.
Hmm.
Afraid of legal action and social pressure, many looters placed their items on the curb to get rid of them. They said, I don't need this TV, yoink. From 1992 until 2010, roughly 123,000 black people left the city, while over 450,000 Spanish speaking people moved in.
Hmm.
Even with the shifting demographics, violent crime between the communities fell by 76% in the same 18-year time span.
Wow.
This shows a shift in community relations I wish we could see everywhere. It's what Fred Hampton would want.
Right.
One thing I haven't heard about a lot when hearing about the riots was the people who died. 63 people died as a result of the riots, with at least 10 of them being shot to death by the police.
Damn.
By the end of 1992, there were 1,096 homicides in the city, marking it as the deadliest year in the city's history.
Wow.
And we're seeing this repeat itself this year, but because of a giant toddler in the White House.
Yeah.
No governors are asking for assistance. No mayors are initiating curfews. A giant man baby is weaponizing the US military against people who speak out against him.
Yeah.
And one right I will defend with my dying breath is the freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Because if I have to go out in public and let somebody calling me a nigger roll off my back, you damn straight Imma call him the fucking Mango Mussolini or the Cheeto in chief or the fucking dollar store dictator.
Velveeta Voldemort.
Fucking Velveeta Voldemort. Whether someone is being kind or mean, they have a right to say what they want, and the government cannot punish them for that.
No.
Let me say it again. The government cannot punish them for that.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you can't lose your job or that you won't get punched in the face,
Right.
but it's supposed to protect us from the tyranny of a government acting like this.
Yeah.
Shout out to anyone over there still fighting the good fight. Keep it up. I know there are people everywhere supporting y'all. Shit's still going down in LA. We're just not hearing about it anymore
Right.
because he's Deflecto Donnie or whatever the fuck they call him. Start calling him Teflon Donnie. That sticks to me. Taco.
People moved on to the Epstein files.
But anyways, the Epstein files. All right, folks. I hope you found this lesson enlightening. I hope it has kind of lit a fire in your heart. Just keep in mind, it is not, nor has it ever been truly left versus right or me versus you. It has always been up versus down, us versus them being rich white supremacists
Yep.
and rich people
Us being poor.
and rich white supremacists. Rich people. And I don't mean like the Vanderbilt rich. I mean, I don't love them either. Um, I mean, like, Jeff Bezos stupid rich.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that
Yeah.
they're 600 billionaires. Fuck those people.
Yeah.
Um, there are more of us than them, and when we finally come together, they will never be able to stand against us.
No.
We hope you all have a good week, and we will see you guys next week.
Be kind to each other.
Love you. Bye.
Love you guys.